Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to Paris for Chat E live here in the very, very heart of Paris. I can't quite comprehend that we're racing on these streets because we literally have the Eiffel Tower just a stone's throw away. We've got the Dôme des Invalides right behind us. We are bang in the heart of Paris. It's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we go to some pretty cool places in Formula E, but you walk here and you okay, we're doing a race in the city centre of Paris, and it's just like, what? This could not be real. You know what I mean? It's like an online racing game.
True.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a racing game where you have all these fake tracks around the city centres of circuits, but now we're doing it in real life. It's nuts.
I think we all thought that last year you couldn't really beat the location of the Moscow e-prix because, racing around the Kremlin, St. Basil's Cathedral, Red Square, it was phenomenal. But we've all arrived in Paris and I think everyone's just completely blown away. The attitude towards this race, I think the atmosphere is very exciting.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And we've got so many fans here as well. That's what's quite cool, is that this pit lane has been an open road till about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So there's just been cars driving up and down here, and the fans can just come and stand by the fences and get interviews with the drivers and photos with the drivers and selfies and autographs. It's been so inclusive. It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, there's been a very good buzz, although slightly difficult for the drivers though, because we haven't had a shakedown, because it really has been an open road. They are still finishing off the track, the night before the race, because it is a public road that everyone's been using. So the drivers are at a little bit of a disadvantage tomorrow, but we'll have a chat with them and see what they think, because they've all just been out on their track walk.
Yes, they went out earlier on today, and yeah, I'm not quite sure the lack of a shakedown will make too much of a difference to them. But at the moment, as it stands, it's Lucas Di Grassi who's leading this championship by just 1 point over Sebastian Buemi. And I think if you'd have asked any of those guys whether they thought that would have been the case earlier on this season, they'd have sort of said no, not really. Renault are going to walk away with this one.
Lucas hasn't really missed out on any points that have been available to him. He has played this season pretty perfectly, I must say. I mean, obviously he had that win that was taken away from him. I mean, if that hadn't been the case, he would be really leading ahead.
Well, let's go and speak actually to Sebastian Buemi, who's just lurking down here. Seb, how's it going?
Not too bad.
This is an important race for you and for Renault. Which is it more important, for Renault or for you in the championship?
Both. No, clearly we want to score as many points as possible, which we didn't do in Long Beach. It's a fantastic race here and a fantastic opportunity for us to do well. So we'll take this extra pressure as something positive and try to, have a good race tomorrow.
We were just talking about the lack of shakedown today.
Yeah.
Is that going to affect you at all, or not too much different?
As long as it's for everyone the same, that's the most important. But clearly, we stripped the car, completely. It was completely off everything. So now we are happy. We would have been happy to have a shakedown just to check if everything is fine. But we'll do it tomorrow and see from there.
So yeah, just talk us through that, because after Long Beach, the team decided that something wasn't quite right with the car. We've seen the sort of lockups in qualifying over the last couple of races that are very unusual for you.
No, exactly. We basically had an issue ongoing, and I'm not going to go into details, but basically...
Go on, just a little bit of detail.
We had some problems with all the brake settings, especially on the mechanical side, and basically it affected us massively, and then you don't have much time, and you just have one lap every now and then, with the maximum power. So the time you realize what the problem is and you take action, it takes a bit of time. So hopefully now everything will be good again, and we'll be able to score good points.
So pole position tomorrow?
We'll see.
Putting the pressure on, of course. Also joined by Nico Prost. Nico, how are you doing? We're racing on French soil for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, next to Napoleon and everything. For a French guy, it's great. I think the pictures are going to be amazing tomorrow. So yeah, such a great event. Hope the weather stays with us.
But I bet you've been pretty busy as well, because, I mean, there have been so many media here, all wanting your attention, really. Have they been keeping you busy?
I mean, it's great to see the support from the French media and from the French people. To race for Renault in France is fantastic. now I want a good result tomorrow, you know.
And do you think you will get that good result? Because we're waiting for that clean race that you have been hoping for so long.
Come in.
Yeah, I mean, I need something going a little bit my way at some point, you know. But yeah, maybe, you know, with all the bad luck, if I win tomorrow, then you will like erase everything.
And your dad's obviously had some fantastic history here racing in France. Has he been giving you, you know, ways to channel that positive energy and translate it into results?
I was just talking to him. We just did an interview that you guys can watch later, and he said he won here between Monaco and France 10 times in Formula One.
I think it's one, probably yes, between Monaco and France, yes. You want to put more pressure even on me?
Sorry. But it's going to be a good weekend. Hopefully you have a good one. Thanks for talking to us.
It's going to turn around.
Thank you.
Have a
Thanks,
good one.
Nico. Good luck.
I feel for Nico. That's the second time I've interviewed him today alone. And that's just
That's
me.
a shame for him, really. You have to interview him.
Was it in French, Jack?
Mais oui.
Mais no.
So how was your interview with Alain Prost?
I could have listened to him all day. Unfortunately, it was 90 seconds. I felt really bad about asking him hard questions because he's a hero of mine. I mean, he's Alain Prost, but I learned a lot just sitting listening to the man. So he's called the professor for a reason. He's so smart the way he goes about things.
Do you think your driving career could have been improved if you'd have had, you know, some time with him? But you did spend some time with him, didn't you, in the early days?
Yeah, I was lucky that I had Jackie Stewart as a mentor, and I definitely spent time with Alain with the run about the Mercedes years. But somebody like him or a Rick Mears, you could just learn so much from these guys. They're just encyclopedic in the way they go about, the way they approach a race and everything. It would have been a big bonus, but it didn't happen. So
I'm stopping here, gang. I'm bringing in Daniel Abt, one of the Abt drivers. Hello again, how are you doing?
good evening.
We'll do all the shaking
Daniel,
hands
how
kind of
are
thing.
you? I think the last time I saw you, you were actually on stage at the Moulin Rouge.
Exactly, yeah. They actually, I wanted my best friend to be up there, and so I pointed at him, but I guess it was the wrong decision, so they grabbed me.
Did you enjoy the moment in the limelight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm born for the stage, you know.
Even in those outfits?
No, not really. No, it was a nice evening. I think it's great that Formula E does stuff like this, and it was nice to have all the Formula E family there, and yeah, it was enjoyable.
And how were the celebrations after the last race? Because that was a fantastic achievement for yourself and for the team. Double podium win.
Yes, it was mega. I mean, I think I was celebrating a bit too much because I missed my flight in the morning.
You?
Yes, I did. Was it chaos?
That's impressive.
It was a disaster.
And what were the consequences of missing that flight?
It was huge. Like I think I spent 3,500 euros to get a new flight. I missed the GT3 test in Oschersleben. My luggage was gone for a week. It just came back like last Saturday, and one suit is completely, I don't know what the English word is, but you can throw it away.
Ruined.
Yes, ruined.
Yep.
So yeah, it was not the best celebration part, but in the end, you know, after a weekend like this, it doesn't matter.
Can you repeat that this weekend? The podium, not all the luggage and the flights.
Both,
and all that.
really.
Well, the party style I can repeat, but I think it's more important that we repeat the performance on track, and I'm quite certain that we have the package to do it here. I think the track is good for us, for our car. The twisty sections suit us very well. We've seen it in Mexico, and yeah, obviously I think the French guys over there, they have the pressure on them, and for us it's the task to beat them and give them a hard time.
What is it that makes you look at this track and go, yeah, this could work for us?
Well, as I said, I think we need twisty sections. Whenever there was a lot of corners, we seem to have a really good balanced car. In Mexico was the last time where we had the stadium section where we had a lot of tight corners, and we seem to be very good. And for some reason, especially when there's long straights, we struggle against the Renaults because they have something. So I think this is good for us here because the straights are short and there's a lot of corners. But you never know. I mean, it's a one-day event. You need to get it all done. It can be you go out and it doesn't work, but I'm optimistic.
And in terms of, you know, the championship, this is the start of the European leg. What are you kind of focusing on? Are you thinking in terms of the team's championship at the moment?
Of course. I mean, I'm not in a position to think about the drivers' championship. So my main goal is to help the team to win that. Obviously, as a team, we want to win both championships, the driver and the team championship. The driver part is Luca's mission, I think, for this year for sure. And yeah, we just need to get good results together as a team, keep pushing and doing a good job.
Where have you made the gains? Because there really have been some big gains since China.
It's hard to tell. I think when we started in China, our car setup was not good. To be fair, it was very good for Donington, but it was not working in China. So we were a bit on the back foot. And since then, we really worked on the car. And I think right now we have a setup that seems to be pretty good. We are happy. We are much more confident in the car. Especially, I feel much more confident. I was really struggling in the beginning of the season with braking and everything and the region. And now the balance seems to be very good. Of course, it's still marginal. We've seen that in Long Beach. A few hundreds can put you P2 or P7. So you still have to get it all together. But I think the car is really in a good position now, and we as drivers have to make the most out of it.
Awesome.
Well, we hope
Daniel.
you're celebrating tomorrow night as well. If not, quite as hard.
Thank you.
Yes. Good luck, and I hope you make that flight back on Sunday morning.
He's a good guy, isn't he?
I don't think his team boss was particularly happy when he
No.
discovered that on
What could he
Sunday
do?
morning
Have you ever
he
done
still
something
hadn't
like
got
that?
his flight.
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely. You know, this is part of it. You work hard, you have to play hard, and you have, they had such a great result in Long Beach, and go out and enjoy it.
How amazed are you as one of the apt cars just rolls its way past us now? That is Lucas Di Grassi's car, in fact. How impressed are you that man, Di Grassi, is leading the championship? There's no way he should be leading the championship, is there?
No, I mean, obviously we know about what happened in Mexico with the win getting taken away and everything. What I like about Di Grassi is this situation last year, he really struggled. He was he lost it when he got the win taken away in Berlin. He lost it, and mentally he was done from that point on. This year he said, I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm just going to get on with it. I'm going to refocus, and he did. And he went out and won the next race. So completely different guy. He's obviously learned a lot, and he's going to be tough to beat because Buemi's making mistakes. Di Grassi is not.
How do you think Sebastian Buemi must be feeling right now? I mean, we've seen him really crack under pressure, make these mistakes in qualifying, and now there's so much attention on him, particularly the fact that we're at, on the French race.
This is a lot of pressure for them. All this hospitality stuff over here you see is all Renault stuff. Renault, the DS guys, a lot of presence here. So there's a massive amount of pressure, and he has made those mistakes. With Buemi, you get those real highs and the troughs as well. But I think he'll figure it out. I really do. I think he's worked pretty hard over the last couple of seasons to become a more balanced driver. But if you're going up against Di Grassi, he is more consistent. The AB team have got that bit of performance gain. I'd be worried. I would be really worried.
Is this race all about Sebastian Buemi and Lucas Di Grassi?
Come on, let's talk to Mark Preston. Yeah,
we can.
Hello, Mark.
We're just walking straight on past. We're
Hey
ignoring
Mark,
you
how you doing?
How's it going for you then this weekend?
So far, pretty smoothly. I was just saying, because we don't have a shakedown today, it seems weirdly calm. I'm not sure why. I was just saying,
Worryingly so?
well, maybe because usually the shakedown does allow you to check the cars out, and then after the shakedown, you obviously got to sort out the problems. And of course, we don't know if there's any problems. The cars hopefully are good.
Antonio, please
There's
come
no
and join
shakedown.
us.
Why is he dressed up like this?
Why are you dressed
You
up?
just interrupted my driver change practice.
Oh, yeah, okay. So
Sorry.
if you mess it up tomorrow, then we're going to get the blame.
Yes, I already have an excuse.
There we go.
How are you feeling about the race tomorrow? What do you think of the track here in Paris?
Very good. I think first of all, this is amazing. All of this, we will not see this in any other racing series. So it's amazing to be a part of it, and it's a new whole experience. So really happy to be here. And then about the track, I think can be good for us. There's a lot of twisty bits, Mickey Mouse bits, which is good for the season 1 package car. So I think it can be a track that we can be close to the front runners. Don't want to jinx it, but let's see what we can do. Just do my best and see where we end up.
Here is Mark Inquart. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
A new
Hello,
addition to the
Dario.
lineup. How are you?
Welcome to Formula E. How have you ended up here?
There's a lot going to be discovered tomorrow, and really happy to be with Team Mercury on board, and looking forward to the race.
Has Antonio been telling you all the secrets, or not really?
No, he's hiding everything.
That's normal. You're going to watch this guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and we've been chatting a little bit to help my experience, and let's see tomorrow. Yeah.
How are season 3 preparations going, Mark? There's a lot of teams. Some teams, I believe, have already done some running with their season 3 powertrains. How does it work for you as a sort of customer, as it were?
So we obviously not being a manufacturer, we don't get to do the manufacturer testing. Hopefully they're not doing performance testing, they're just doing reliability testing. Once we've got the kind of powertrain organised, then we'll join them all in the Donington tests after the season. So I don't think we should be too disadvantaged because they're not really working on performance at the moment.
And what's the process of choosing a partner for next year? Is it ongoing? Is it done? How does that work?
Discussions are midway through, I'd say. We're almost there, I hope. So yeah, should be good.
I think we saw some of those discussions at one of the last races, didn't we, during lunch?
Yeah, exactly.
Always discussions going on.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Well, thank you very much, guys, for joining us. Thank you, and best of luck this weekend.
Guys,
Good luck
thank
for the
you.
first race. Enjoy your first Formula E experience.
Thank you.
See you later.
Oh, well, it was worth a try to find out the inside story there with
worth a
Team
shot, isn't
Maguri. No luck.
But they're in a very almost unique position, really, to be a customer rather than your manufacturer. So it's interesting for them. Mahindra are a team that are on their way to being a manufacturer. One of their drivers.
Here we go
is
with Nick Heifeld. Nick, come and join us.
Hello again. What do you think of all of this?
It's amazing. I think it's the best location we've seen so far. The circuit looks very difficult and challenging on the simulator, but it will be interesting to have our first laps tomorrow. No shakedown today.
Do you think it's the same as what you've been practicing on the simulator? Because we heard a few of the drivers mention that some of the corners were quite different, and will that have much of effect on tomorrow?
I found it difficult to say that some corners look different. The biggest difference for me is the surface. That is obviously, we don't have the proper data in the simulator because it would cost a fortune to check and monitor each centimeter, so we just have a basic simulation for the ground.
And are you optimistic that this is going to be a good weekend for you guys?
Yeah, very optimistic because over the last couple of races we've moved forward. Long Beach was the best ever team result we had with 4th and 5th. So yes, of course, I hope that we will keep this momentum up.
So you've been in this since the beginning of Formula E. How have you seen the progression of the championship?
I think we couldn't ask for more. I think the level of the championship is very high. It was from the beginning on. What I like to see is that it's accepted a lot more by people from the outside, from motorsport fans, especially from guys within F1 who first, when I spoke to them, were a bit laughing, or some of the drivers didn't really appreciate it as much as I think they should have done. And then in year 2, probably not the guys that are in F1 now, but there were a lot of drivers coming towards me and said, can you help me get a drive for the next year? And in the first year they were all like, yeah, that is nothing.
But it's amazing to see how much momentum the championship is building up, especially by just looking around. Now that we're in Europe, there are so many fans here, there's so much attention from the media. It really is changing quite a lot as a racing championship.
Yeah, it is, and it's without a doubt also due to the locations we are going. I'm sure on the camera you caught some of this, and I think the races did help a lot as well. I don't remember hardly any race where after lap 1 or 2 we knew how it would end up. It's always exciting till the last corner.
So can we expect top 5 finish for both you and Bruno again?
That's for sure our target. Our target is to finish on the podium. Big question mark for me is what Renault will do here. They really struggled badly in Long Beach, and this helped all the others a bit.
Cool. Excellent. Well, Nick, thank you so much for joining us, and all the best. Take care. Thanks.
Thanks, man.
We need to decide whether to do the handshake thing, all three of us, or not do the handshake thing, because otherwise it gets a bit
awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've got a new simulator driver at Mahindra.
Really?
Yeah, Prince William.
Oh yes.
There was a lot of press coverage about that Mahindra simulator, wasn't there?
Brilliant, wasn't it?
Kate and Wills did a good job there.
Yeah.
So you were busy faffing around out there or something with the professor when we started. What are your reflections on this whole ambiance?
Look at it. I mean,
do you fancy getting in the racing seat?
Yeah, I'd have a go. I'd absolutely have a go. But I'm actually enjoying being here as much as anything. Just being in this amazing location. I've been lucky enough to race in some incredible locations, but this one is it takes the biscuit, doesn't it?
Do you think we could say this is the best location for a racing track? Period. Location.
Oh,
it's got to be up there.
I didn't see it.
This might Conway.
No, but you're that short. How's it? Oh, sorry. That was a bit harsh, wasn't it?
Wow.
How are you doing?
We're racing driver.
Exactly.
Height.
I'm like sort of towering over you. How are you doing?
Good. Yeah.
What do you think of?
Ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, it's very good. So in the olden days, there used to be sort of like a band that would go across there. That seems to have gone out of fashion.
Hold the gut, yeah. Well, we got it built in. It's like elastic, all tidy. You can't see it. Yeah, it's quite good.
Built-in Spanx.
I was just about to say, so it's like those pants that. Oh dear.
High top pants. Yeah.
But a big race weekend for Venturi.
Yeah, as always. Yeah, I mean, kind of a home race for the team. So and Steph. So yeah, he's got all the pressure, and hopefully I haven't. So. But no, it should be good one for the team. They're obviously coming off of momentum from the last weekend, so hope we can keep that going.
So, Long Beach, having had my doors blown off by you on a couple of occasions at Long Beach, I was like, oh, here we go, watch this. Mike Conway. And it didn't quite go according to plan.
No, really.
What
I
happened?
think just maybe driving a bit too hard really in qualifying, and it's so easy. If you make a mistake in these cars, the lap time's just gone and you can't recover it. So I think that's happened the last couple of qualifyings, and yeah, just need to kind of calm it down and just look for a better setup that's kind of suiting my style.
So is it an easy thing to overdrive?
Yeah, it is, yeah, especially when the tyres are new. There's a bit more movement on the tread because the tread's a bit taller, so it's easier to overdo it. As I said before, it seemed to be easier in the first weekend than it has the last few, so just got to backtrack a little bit, I think.
Jim has joined us as well from Venturi. Would you agree that Mike's been overdriving?
I wouldn't say that. I think he came in at a very high level straight away, and I think after that you have the inevitable some problems. Every driver up and down the pit lane has had a race where they've hit problems, and I think that happened with Mike in Long Beach. But listen, he's a pro. He'll be right back there this weekend, I'm sure.
How have you enjoyed the racing, Mike? Because there was that mega move in Long Beach out of the hairpin where you ducked under two cars as they were side by side. That must be quite fun compared to some series.
It is. I mean, there's never a dull moment, obviously, especially with racing so close, wheel to wheel. And it's always hard to manage with the energy saving. And yeah, one of those corners at Long Beach being so tight, I kind of could see it coming a little bit with those two cars. So yeah, it was fun and managed to get first points of the season. So we've got to continue that.
Jim, how happy have you been with Venturi's season so far?
Well, I think what we've tried to concentrate on is ironing out some of the mistakes which we made last year. We were in great positions last year. We threw away race wins, podiums, through silly mistakes at pit stops. And I'm pleased to see that we've got much better consistency in these areas. We're making much fewer mistakes. We're not incurring all the penalties that we were having last year. And you can see the progress. Last time out, Stefan was on the podium on merit. They didn't luck into that. So what we have to do now is aim to repeat that 2 or 3 times on the podium, and then you can build up towards a win. I think if we can continue to do that, then we're in good shape.
And Jim, time is kind of ticking till the end of this season, and very soon attentions will be turning to season 3. How's the development of your season 3 car going?
Well, I think like everyone, it's a very tight homologation date, which we're all sort of working frantically to achieve. But we're on schedule. We passed our crash test parts, our crash testing last week, so we're on schedule. All good. Fingers are crossed everywhere for the guys involved. But we're doing a very good job, and it's a big step forward from where we are this year.
Do you think we're going to see it become a lot closer in season 3 and all the cars become even tighter and maybe a catch up with the likes of Renault?
I think so, because I think that 1 or 2 of the teams made mistakes this year, and they can see that. And we all have seen what the best teams have done and the levels they've achieved. So I can see some closing up of that. But hey, the guys who've done the best this year aren't standing still. They're going to be moving forward as well. So yeah. Potentially, but you never know. Someone could take another leap.
What's that old saying in racing? If you stand still, you go backwards?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. None more so than this formula, for sure. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank
you,
Jim.
We've got another man sneaking in here. See you later, Mikey.
And substituting in is Bruno Senna. Is he your new teammate?
Yeah, he's got to take off his race suit.
Yeah, he's very ready for the race, isn't he?
Yeah, very eager. You're not quite as eager.
No, I've done my work. It's time to relax.
Have you been practicing your car change?
Yeah, we're doing good. Mechanics are on it, so it's been pretty good. We had a lot of car change practice in LMP2 last weekend, so I have lots of bruises all over my body. And
but that was driver change as opposed to car change.
Indeed, that is correct. Yes. So thank you for correcting me there.
No worries.
You're very covered for a Scotsman.
I'm bloody freezing.
Look at this scarf and the
jacket. It was blue skies and gorgeous sunshine earlier, but it is looking a bit grey now. Are we going to get a wet race tomorrow?
Well, it looks like it's going to rain overnight, so probably it's going to be wet in the morning, which is not ideal when you're trying to learn the track. And then it should be dry for the rest of the day. So yeah, we prefer if it's dry than if it's wet. Trust me.
What do you make of the track? How has it been in the simulator? How is it in real life? It's there's not many chicanes, which is a positive.
Yes, yeah, always better if you don't have any chicanes. Ultimately, it's going to be a tough track. In the sim, we had the curbs quite different from what the curbs are here. We have the same curbs as we had in Berlin last year. So these curbs you cannot cut, trust me, which is okay. But in the sim, it was different. So some corners are much tighter than they were in the sim. That's going to make a change on the energies and everything. But same for everybody. So we just have to make sure that we do our best.
Awesome. Bruno, thank you so much, and
thank you.
Good luck again for the race.
He didn't want that. Did you see that? I got absolutely
rejected. Handshake rejection. Oh dear.
He's got some fans over here, though. There we go.
Look at that.
Doing some signings and stuff. And speaking of fans, fan boost is vital, of course, this weekend.
It is indeed, and it's Sebastian Buemi who's actually leading the fan boost, which I suppose is no surprise, really.
There's a lot of Renault employees and a lot of his fans, and he went into the season obviously as the man to beat. Hasn't gone according to plan, and people love an underdog too, so he'll be tough to beat on the own fan boost, I think, and I think he'll be tough to beat on the track as well. And
it's also Loic Duval in second and Jérôme D'Ambrosio in third. So really, the Frenchies are looking pretty strong.
Apart from the Belgian D'Ambrosio, it's very tight in the top three.
And the Swiss, Sebastian Buemi.
Yeah, exactly.
I've a real anorak thing here. But recently we've seen different wheels on the different cars. The first season it was a spec wheel. I was like, yeah, okay, great. Now we're seeing different wheels, and some guys are they've got an aerodynamic advantage or a weight advantage, but it's really cool to see the different designs and sort of differentiating car from car.
Yeah, it is one of the few things over the course of the season that you can adjust throughout the course of the season, and you can change after the homologation. Now, obviously, I wasn't in Long Beach, which was a shame, and I missed it. But what was the event like there?
Massive crowd. I mean, they had all the grandstands up for the IndyCar event, and they were pretty full.
It was amazing. It was a fantastic atmosphere. Really, really good.
The podium was ridiculous. Yeah. All that crowd, it looked like a rock concert. But the race, it wasn't one of our classic, everything going on, but it was a good, solid, proper motor race, and Lucas deserved it.
Yeah, and well, that has put Lucas 1 point ahead at the top of the championship standings, but Buemi is right there behind him in second place. It's a fantastic tight battle. Really, it's only those two, as you can see, that have sort of separated out at the top.
But Sam Bird is sneaking up behind them.
Well, yeah, that's very true.
So actually, maybe,
I tell you what, I wouldn't put my money against Sam. The DS Virgin car is not an easy car to drive, and you watch it. We watched it even in Argentina when he won. It never takes a set out of a hairpin. It slides around a lot more, and he's having to work really, really hard. And other drivers have actually commented on, when he gets out of the car, good job, mate, you held on to it. I wouldn't bet against Sam. He's feeling good. He's feeling confident. Last week he admitted to the mistake at Long Beach. He loves to talk it down though, doesn't he? Have you ever noticed he's always pessimistic about it because he likes to keep his expectations in check. But I would not be surprised if Sam's up there fighting for it this week.
So Sam's your call for the race?
Oh, was that the question?
I'm
not sure that was the question. But if that was the question,
yeah,
who are you going for?
I'm going to go De Grassi. Going to go De Grassi.
Dario?
I hate to be predictable, but I'm going to go for Buemi because Alain Prost assured me that it's going to be a reset for the EDAMS team this weekend. I'm going to go for him.
Well, I always quite like going for Sam Bird, and as we were just talking about, we've noticed for Sam Bird.
Good on you.
Well, that's nearly the end of our live chatty, but this is just the start of things to come, because you can see behind us, we are in such a cool location for a street race. It is going to be such a spectacle. Watch out for the Eiffel Tower and all the French fans coming out in their hordes. And make sure you do join us. We'll be live from 3:30 p.m. local time, and enjoy the race, which kicks off at 4 p.m. Say goodbye from all of us.